like me, just instantly transited. Whoa. It instantly switched over to this view already again because this game is full of bombs. I hope you're as excited as I am. And of course, with me is garbi, here to run all this for you all. Garbi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to show this off for everyone.
Alright, well, whenever you're ready, please. Let's go roll up the world.
Okay, yeah. Audio should be better now, hopefully. But time. Wait, sorry, I didn't start. Time doesn't actually start yet. Sorry, but I'll let you know when it does. So the way this works, we start from a completed file because one of the like you need that to have a completed file to play Katamari Drive, which is the fastest mode for just about all the levels when you have access to it. So we play from that. So I can count us down if we're ready. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And so the plot of this game is that the king is trying to teach the prince how to do the prince hop, but as he's doing that, he hops so high that he hits his head on an asteroid, which causes the king to I think just go unconscious. And the lore is that he's sleeping through a lot of this game, but he's still able to give us like stuff to do. And while the king's unconscious, we're making a Robo King to replace the king. So that's what we're doing now. This is building a Robo King. And later on, I think we actually have to disassemble the Robo King for a later mission.
Oh wait, so this game does a callback to earlier stages.
Yeah,
Super interesting. I love when games do that.
Yeah, it's really neat. But that's kind of just the tutorial where you just have to do the get objects and then roll inside that Katamari, which is going to be used to build this Robo King. And so that is the first level down. So after doing that, the order I just generally do all of the Mecha Star levels and then the King's missions. And so the first level here is, well, that's the tutorial, but this is the first like real mission. And the reason this is called all goals is because after I complete the goal of the mission, I can just exit out. Normally, if you're playing from an uncompleted file, it won't actually count as being the mission, which is another reason that I'll be wanting to start on uncompleted files, so that I'll still have access to all the missions and be able to play them. And so that's 20 centimeters. You can just get that there that lets you beat the level really quickly. And so after that, I can just exit out of the mission. And so those broken hearts I'm getting are let me like roll up, like have objects gravitate toward me as I'm rolling, which helps speed up the mission quite a bit. And you can also roll after you're doing, like, roll even as the Robo King's talking, and he gets really upset if you do that, but we still do it just because it's fast.
Robo King doesn't seem aware that this is a speedrun for charity.
Yeah! And so this is also, the controls are like really, like, it moves like really quickly, so it's really easy to just fall off. So I do have to typically be careful as I'm doing these levels, but these are like just levels from earlier Katamari games. This is from beautiful Katamari. I'm trying to get up here and get this, but you move so quickly that it's a little tricky too, but there we go. I should be able to get that, and there we go. That is 60 centimeters, so I can exit that level now. So next I'll be heading to make a Star 5, which is the underwater mission. And this has underwater physics that really aren't as apparent when you're in drive mode, so that makes this move a little more quickly. But one tricky thing with this is that there are fish hooks that I need to watch out for, and if I hit any of those, the Katamari will get just hooked in by the fish hook. So that is something I need to be careful about. But
that was a nice dodge, Rasa.
Thanks. Yeah.
So I'm just going to cut in real quick and remind everyone that if you are enjoying the tunes that you're hearing on screen right now, we do have an incentive to pick the music for the final stage. Now, you don't have a lot of time. This run isn't that long. Unfortunately for RoboKing and unfortunately for us, we only have an estimate of about an hour for this run. So if you want to get your donation in and help us choose between Lonely Rolling Star No More, Shadow and Light, Everlasting Love Plus You, Sunbaked Savannah High School, or Gin and Tonic and Red Roses YMCK 8-Bit Mix, please get in a donation. Make sure you select that incentive when you donate, because we can't change that, unfortunately. And Garbi, feel free to interrupt me, of course, if you need to explain something, but Shadow and Light, you were telling me, is very rarely ever heard because it's only in this game. It's not usually a marathon option, right?
Yeah, typically for most things I pick the default option, and that's not a default in any of these levels. I want to say it's the ending thing, but we typically don't actually hear that in the run, so if we got that, it would be really cool to be able to just listen to that song. It is like, it's also just a really kind of climactic and epic song, and I think it'd be a good like final level song as well.
Well, I mean, folks, you heard the runner. Let's give Garbi what she wants, Shadow and Light, but we can only do that if you make that donation, and ! donate in chat gets you that link. And you know, just as a reminder, when you donate through Tiltify, you can select both a poll, which would be what this is, the bid war, and also an incentive. And I mean, we've got a lot of fantastic runs coming today. I was lucky enough to get a preview of the Cat Cab for Little Kitty Big City demo coming up later today. That's a $250 target. Or maybe you want to help us meet the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer Ice Trap Mayhem target. We're so close to that. We're just $2 away from meeting that goal. So feel free to chip in, and all of that is going to our fantastic cause. Take this.
Yeah, definitely get your donations in for that. This is really nice timing because I really do need another coffee mug, and having a hoodie is nice at this time of year, so I also got a hoodie, so the merch is really cool to see. And the prizes are just also look really, really amazing. Like that Trans Game Boy Advance looks just amazing. So
true, I didn't even mention the prizes. There are some fantastic prizes we have this event.
Yeah.
And of course, exclamation mark prizes will get you a handy link to see the prizes we have this event. The Trans Game Boy that Garbi was mentioning, that's one of our grand prizes. Donating at any time in the event gets you eligible to win one of those. And today we have a bunch of specific prizes that are really, really adorable. I mentioned the Alf. If you are a fan of Alf, there are Alf figurines. I know that's not always adorable to everyone. But
Oh, that's amazing.
So, Garbi, I am curious though. This level, are we just rolling up the entire neighborhood here?
Yeah, we're more or less. Yeah, that's kind of what you just do in this level. And now I just have to roll up all this shrubbery.
Talk about neighborhood cleanup.
Yeah.
And so the Robo King gets really, really annoyed the more we just keep ignoring them.
Yeah.
But if you actually listen through, do we still have to fight the Robo King?
Yeah. No matter what, that's an integral part of this journey that we're on.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that in a bit. And this is also Lonely Rolling No More, which is one of the options, and it's also just a really nice song. Even if I do prefer Shadow and Light, all the music in this game is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a remix of a level from Beautiful Katamari, except the way the physics of this game work and just the way, and also just all the extra features such as the hop and the broken hearts you can get, make it so you can complete this level a lot more quickly than that variant. Like, especially in drive mode, you can complete this in about a minute and a half when it takes about 3 minutes or so. Doing it, if you do it really quickly on Beautiful Katamari. So a lot of these levels just move so much more quickly, which is really, really cool. It definitely, Katamari Drive also moves really fast, so it is a lot to get used to, and even just meeting the requirements can be tricky with how the controls are. And here we need to get to 800 meters. So almost there. There we go. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear a lot of that because that level it usually takes about a minute and 40 or so there. But if we get to, but whichever song wins the donation incentive, we'll get to hear that for about four or so minutes, because that's about how long the final level is. So.
Well, I think that sounds like the best selling point you have too.
Yeah.
If you want to hear more of Lonely Rolling No More.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lonely Rolling Star No More. I forgot the star. How could I have done that?
And this is also a pretty chill tune. Just, it's definitely a different take. I think it's a remix of Bluffing Damacy from Wheel of Katamari, if I remember correctly. There's just so much great music in this. And this is also a remix of Make a Star 8 in Katamari Damacy. Except with drive mode and everything, instead of getting 18 minutes, we only get 7, so definitely this can be one of the requirements that can be pretty tricky to meet, but that shouldn't be an issue here. because of everything that helps like with getting diamond more quickly than Katamari.
I'm sorry. I'm bouncing back. There are time limits.
Yeah,
in the stages.
Yeah, there are. There definitely are.
Why is Robo King so angry then? We gotta get through! You gave us 7 minutes!
Yeah, I know! Yeah, he just always gets angry if you dare to skip his dialogue, so but we have to go.
I'm sorry, not Dad. You're not my real dad.
Okay, this can be a little tricky to do. There we go. So just that helps quite a bit in getting and also those signs give quite a bit, so already this is pretty close to the oh heck, I'm not. Okay, good. I can get off those. So and there's also some of the broken hearts do disappear if you get too big, so you also have to be careful to not get too much damage before getting some of them, or you just won't be able to get them at all because they spawn out after getting a certain amount. And now we can even roll up cars and such.
So sometimes when I'm not sure what's causing the effect. Oh, like that. Like sometimes it really zooms in. What's happening there? Because we talked about this a little before, but I have never played a Katamari game, shamefully. I've always just watched amazing runs like yours, Garbi. So what's happening when it really zooms in? Is it just you completed the stage?
Zooming in, that zooms the Katamari out, so you get a better view of what's going on at the diamond urn, and it happens at certain points, and it also spawns some other of the small objects out of the level.
So it's easier to just grab the big ones and get that bigger size.
Yeah, that does also have the unfortunate side effect of there's some stages where you need to roll up a lot of like every one of the objects in the level, and that mechanic can make it a little tricky to do because if you're too big, some of the small objects that you need to get spawn out of levels, so you need to make sure to get those quickly to get 100% on those levels.
Oh, that's tricky then, especially since your run category is all goals. So routing this, you really have to plan around that, don't you?
Yeah, that's... Well, in this one, luckily, does not involve getting 100% on any of the levels, so it's not as big a deal in this as if you're trying to get 100% on levels, but this category luckily does not require that. And also you do move a little faster when you jump, but the only problem with it is that it can be a little tricky to control, and also it's hard, if you're doing it from a standstill, it's really hard to get any momentum. This jump was also a bit refined in the Katamari game After This Touch My Katamari, that's on the Vita. That is a little bit more obscure of a game, and I'm honestly not as big of a fan of it, but I still enjoy that game, even if it's not quite as good as this one, honestly.
I am seeing a question in chat. Are we going to roll up the king in one of these?
Yes, we are actually.
Oh.
Yeah, that is actually the very last thing we'll be doing in this. So that'll be fine. Oh, this level is also going, like, sometimes this can be a tricky level, but this is going pretty well. Beating that in sub 3 can be a little tricky, so in general that went pretty well there. So that's a remix of the final level from Katamari, well, the biggest level in We Love Katamari. And now we're gonna be doing Make the Moon, and this has a little bit risky, a little bit tricky of a strat that I'm gonna try going for once, but if I don't, I'm just gonna take a little bit easier strat, because I did learn a backup for this, not that. Oh heck. But luckily there's a backup. Like, the thing is, there's no way of getting back up there, so if I miss that, luckily there's a lot of objects here that you can do, and honestly, it might be faster than having to line yourself up anyway, so it's not, I typically don't even go for, like, trying to get those peaches there, because you have to navigate on the very edge of it, edge of the platform, of the island, and if you miss it, you just have to go on without having that. So just rolling directly here probably is generally a better strat, I think. But this is also a really nice tune, Katamari and the Wings. It's kind of a remix in a way of Katamari on the Swing from Real Katamari.
Yeah, this is the main track that everyone thinks of when talking Katamari music, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I see the na 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 in chat.
Yeah.
And speaking of the game music, we did have a $20 anonymous donation come in. Just says rolling, rolling, rolling.
Rolling.
But that did go towards Shadow and Light.
Let's go!
So, Shadow and Light is now in the lead for our final level music. But again, if you want to hear more of Lonely Rolling Star No More, or any of the other fantastic options we have, I mentioned Gin and Tonic and Red Roses was actually my favorite of the options.
Yeah, that is a really great track as well. So yeah, definitely get your donations in. Make this a fierce bib war.
Oh yes, we'd love to see you fighting out. Tell me what your favorite music in Katamari is, or you know what? Get us to sing. Buddy, will you sing with me? It'll probably just be the na-na-nas, but that's the only one I know.
Yeah.
Again, and all of that is going to take this. So thank you all so much for joining us and supporting this wonderful cause.
Yeah, thank you all so much for the donations. It's going to an amazing cause. So we're already at 60 meters, so this level is also already pretty close ending. Oh, even some of the really big levels, they can move pretty quickly with how you can just like use the Katamari drive mechanic to get big really quickly, and luckily you can just jump over that bridge. That bridge can be a little finicky, so I'm glad that went well.
So you mentioned the bridge can be a little finicky. Is it you get stuck on the bridge, or?
It's more. It's just like the controls are so like it's so easy to just make it like have the stick in slightly a wrong direction and fall off of the bridge. And just fall into the water. And the water is also sloped, so you also kind of just move back a bit when that happens. And this is also a new one of the new levels in this game. It's one that uses the print swap that was added in this game. I need to use this Katamari to draw off this, to like bring help this desert, like sprinkle the desert and bring water to it. So this is kind of
this is like the opposite of what you normally do in Katamari.
Yeah, it is. So, and also the print swap can be used to get up to like that ledge there. So that's one cool, fun thing with this, and one of the reasons that the print swap's pretty nice. But here we just need to get to 800 meters like of like forest there, and we can exit the level. But it just kind of helps like revive, and I think after you complete the mission, it like shows a tree like coming to life. So that's one nice thing we can do with our Katamari. And this level is also one that just goes really quickly. So normally this is the one where your Katamari automatically goes when you're doing it without the drive mode mechanic. So when you have the drive mode mechanic, it's really hard to control. It's like
because you're going so much faster.
Yeah. So the way that the Katamari drive mechanic works is it's pretty similar in concept to how this level works normally. So it's essentially doubly sped up from how physics work in just a normal mode or something. So it makes it really tricky to control. So I just kind of have to do my best with controlling it. Luckily these stairs can help kind of slow you down some. One of the few times you actually want that in this game.
Sometimes going slow is the strat.
Yeah, this is one of the times where you very much want to find ways of kind of slowing your Katamari down a bit. And this ending can also, if you bump the object, you can just go flying into the ocean without anything you can do. But that level done. That's definitely just one of the missions probably that is really hard to optimize because of that. So I kind of just do my best.
It's really hard. Like just like how to control the Katamari was just.
Yeah.
I already can't do driving case because I could read into the walls. It's good to know that in Katamari it's acceptable and even beneficial.
Yeah. And this is one of the DLC levels in Beautiful Katamari that I feel is also kind of obscure because I'd imagine that not a lot of people got the DLC for Beautiful Katamari on Xbox, but this is a pretty neat level. You have to roll up just a lot of dangerous objects and get to 3,000 kilometers. So, and there's also gonna be, and after you get to 3,000, which hopefully I'll get to pretty soon, I'm gonna be getting something cool is gonna happen. Oh, I think I like almost got wrapped around to the other side of the screen because I was bumped by that whale there. And now we get to roll up islands and just all the mountains.
So we've seen a number of levels now, and I wanted to ask, do you have a favorite level, Garbi?
Favorite? My favorite, it might be the sumo mission where you just get to eat a whole lot of food. that is always a thrilling mission. Just because the sounds and just the sound effects of the sumo wrestler eating and such are really cool. And we're actually about to go and dismantle this Robo King because, you know, he's being kind of a jerk to us. So,
right. Well, chat, if you want to save Robo King, it's not an incentive. I don't think it's actually possible, but you can feel free to write it in your donations. A eulogy for Robo King.
yeah, definitely feel free to get any eulogies you might want to share for the Robo King, because we are about to go and dismantle him. And there's one other thing with this mission is that there is also a pretty strict time limit with it as well. You only get, so each broken heart you get in this level adds an extra minute to your time limits, but you only start with 1 minute, so it's probably one of the times where I get closest to running out of time, but it's usually not an issue for it to happen, at least. Oh yeah, this is another mission where you actually want to back into this broken heart, but it's still a little tricky. But there we go. Because you don't want to be going too quickly because it's really hard to just...
Yeah, that looked like a really narrow ramp to it.
Yeah, it's really not that hard to get it in Katamari Forever mode, but in Drive mode, it is really tricky. Just getting up there, because also if you're big enough, the objects like tilt back and forth when you're almost big enough to pick it up, which doesn't make that any easier. But even when we dismantled him, he's still somehow able to yell at us about the Katamari not being big enough. So yeah.
You didn't take enough of me apart.
Yeah. But that is the final mission of that one, that section. And now we're going to be heading to the King's missions. And a theme generally with the King's dialogue here is that the King is sleepy as you're doing this. And like, it's all in, like, cloud when you're cloud aesthetic. Okay. But I guess it isn't like where... I guess he isn't tired in the dialogue, but the lore in this is that he's sleeping, and if you're playing this for the first time, it'll be where it's just... Where the texture's in black and white, and you're rolling stuff up, which makes everything come to life, and it's all about waking the king up, because in universe, in game, he's asleep. Yeah, he's even chilling on that chilling down there, so he's just judging us from there.
Gee, thanks, Dad. Alright, well, I do have a little more cheerful things than Dad being judgy. In fact, Coming up after this, we do have an interview with Take This, but right after that, we have the Ultima 6 randomizer by Cloudy Shoe. And one of the incentives we have open for that is the ability to choose which character sprite Cloudy Shoe will be using for that run. And so, Silver Moon 9000 has donated $5 because they've recognized seems like we need a sprite for Ultima 4. How about a ghost? Well, it is Halloween actually. Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I completely didn't realize today. It is Halloween. You know what? Ghost sounds fantastic. Thank you so much for that donation, Silverman.
Thank you for that. Wait, where are the rest of them? I guess I just did not get these, but hopefully this will okay, good. I think that was still fast enough to be 100 and the max score you can get. You have to get sub 30 to get 120 points on that. I miss those because sleepy brain, but still was able to get it.
Just like the king.
Yeah, that's a move there. And luckily he's actually complimenting us this time because the objective is to go fast.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I barely caught that. You really sped through that level.
Yeah, thanks. So, luckily the broken heart that gravitates objects toward you helps a lot in that mission because normally you have to, like... Because the objective is to get every object in that level, but luckily there, it makes it a lot easier to just roll up some of the more tricky objects to get, and that level is also one that's just ends before you know it. All you have to do in the cow and bear mission is just roll up one cow or bear. And if you're just trying to complete the level, it is ridiculously easy to complete it because I can just do that. But if you're trying to get the max score you can get, you have to get the cow bear, which you just have to avoid getting any cows or bears. So it's one of the toughest missions to like get the best score on.
See, I had questions like, why is this the extra smelly bear cow planet? But you know what? we're done. Next.
Yeah. I'll also say some levels the objective, like, some levels, like, would just involve, like, waiting it out to get to the result screen, even if all you need to do to technically complete the level is to just do it easily. So yeah, we don't have to do like a few of the missions, but that one we do for the run, the counter mission, but that's just all we have to do for that. And here we need to wake up like a student because they don't have any. Well, no, we don't have to wake them up. We have to get light because it's too dark for them to study.
That would be so calming is what I wanted to say. Just studying by fireflies, but you really need a ton of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You need the princess of all cosmos doing this.
Yeah.
And of course, I do want to remind you all, Garbi is speeding through this game. And so if you want to bump a different song into the final level, you don't have much time, please !donate in chat. We'll get you that link and you can help us choose between Lonely Rolling Star No More, Shadow and Light, Everlasting Love Plus You, Sunbaked Savannah High School, or Gin and Tonic and Red Roses, the YMCK 8-bit mix. And I would love to hear people's favorite Katamari songs. I'm always looking for more game music to listen to.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of game music, this is a funky track.
Yeah, this is also just a really nice track. It's a remix of The Moon and the Prince from Katamari, but done in a totally different style. That's kind of a cool thing with a lot of these songs. They're remixes of original tracks, but they're in like a quite a bit of a different genre than the original ones, so it's always fun to just hear all the remixes.
I also just love that it's a sumo wrestler. And you're rolling.
Yeah, it is just so fun. Okay, I need to get... Okay, there we go. That should be enough to like, knock this sumo wrestler down. Yeah, they're remixes of Wheel of Katamari and Katamari Dynasty, so it's really cool that they're starting to be like remixing those to modern platforms. And you can also roll up that sumo wrestler there, and that's also another way you can defeat him. But there we just knock him down. But that's always a really fun mission. But we are definitely getting pretty close to the end of this run. This is what I would say is definitively probably the hardest mission to do well on, because not only do you have to avoid like certain objects, you also have to know like which ones to avoid to get the max score, because you need to get the objective if you're trying to do well in this. If you're trying to get the max score in this, is to get as many objects as you can in 300,000 yen. So you have to avoid expensive objects, and also when you're big, know which object, like see which objects you cannot grab. So especially in drive mode, it is just so tricky to kind of see what you're doing.
And how do you know which objects don't help you with the goal? Is that just like trial and error? Like you rolled it up and realized it didn't go up?
Well, any object counts toward the amount of items that help your score, but you just can't get any expensive objects. So essentially, when you roll these up, it's essentially like you're buying them. I would say so. So like we're just rolling all this up, and you have to be careful not to roll up the expensive ones. But for the speedrun, I just want to roll up all the expensive ones. Yeah, it's so easy to roll up into something really expensive. And it's just that when you're really big, it can be hard to see what you're rolling up.
I appreciate that the Prince's grocery list is a lot of bottles of what looks like ketchup.
And now we're going to get to have fun rolling around the school and let the students have fun with Katamari as well. So we just need to roll up all the students in this level, and it's also a really fun mission, but it can be a little tricky because when you get really big, it's hard to know what to roll up next. Especially like the kid that's swinging on the ceiling. That can be a tricky one to get. But we're almost finished. but clearing out the last few can be pretty tricky. And it's also really easy to just have one that you can't find. Oh, one of them apparently got knocked over and was just, like, on the wall. But that is that. Yeah, the game over sequence is like a mini game, yeah, one of the trophies is even locked behind doing well in the game over mini game. So that is honestly really pretty neat. But now we're heading to probably the trickiest mission to do well on. To clear, I mean. The campfire mission, because if I either go too long without rolling up objects, or I roll up a small object, I'll fail this mission. Or I fall into the water. Or if I fall into the water, I'll fail the mission. So I need to be careful. So it is a tricky mission. But that hopefully should not happen here, because I have the route pretty down, but if I fall into the water, that's one thing that can make it tricky.
Alright, well, wishing you lots of luck here.
Thanks. The most scary part is probably getting those things there, the logs there. Or getting the sunflowers, because I rolled really close to the water there. And also, if you try rolling up into anything sentient, then they'll just run off. So
I can imagine, because you're a big ball of fire.
Yeah. But the thing is, it does not count as it rolling up, and it knocks you back, so it's possible to just get knocked back into the water, which is one way that it's very easy to just fall in the water and have to redo the mission. So how are we doing on the bid war, by the way?
Well, taking a quick look, just refreshing to make sure I got all the newest ones in. Looks like Shadow and Light is still in the lead. How much longer until we get to... You said it closes when you finish the level where you rolled the King's Dream. So how much longer do we have till that for anyone who might not know?
Probably, I would say, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So that's definitely getting close to ending, so...
Well, folks, you don't have much time. Garbi is rolling through these levels. Well, yes, I get that's the point of the game. But Garbi is rolling through these levels, and if you want your donation to help make a difference in what song we hear at the end, please get those in. Again, Shadow and Light, very, very rarely heard in a marathon setting, and only in this game, I believe he told me.
Yeah, I think it's only in this game.
But,
and like,
sorry, go on.
yeah. And like, yeah, it's also not usually ever heard in the run because it's not a mission that you usually. It's not one of the default songs, which I usually play when I'm doing this.
But also, you know, if you've got a favorite Katamari song and you want to hear more of that instead, then absolutely, please send in those donations. Apparently, it was this game's credit song, is what I'm seeing in chat.
Yeah, it's the game's credit song. I didn't remember really because you already start this from completed files, so it's been a while since I've seen the credits. But and yeah, we don't hear the credits song in this, so it is the only time we hear this. But all the other songs are also really neat. You said your favorite was the Gin and Tonic YMCK remix?
Yes, when I saw the options, I gave them all a listen to sort of see which one I like, and that one just grabbed me from the start. It's a real bop.
It is, honestly. It is an awesome song. And also, by the way, we are heading to, I would say, probably the hardest mission in this, because grabbing that broken heart there is almost always instantly makes you fail the mission, because you also grab a lot of cold objects, which, if you get too many of those in this mission, you'll have to redo it. Oh, that is bad.
Oh.
I should be fine as far as completing it, but it will definitely lose me some time. But you know.
Just stalling to get in more chances to choose a song.
Yeah, exactly.
More money raised for charity.
Okay, should be almost there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the temperature also just goes down gradually, so you can't stay still for too long. I'll also say, I think my favorite credits minigame is probably the one in Beautiful Katamari, because it just has a really nice aesthetic, and the music in that one is also really nice. What was the name of it? But I guess just search the Beautiful Katamari ending if you want to hear it. But it's also just a really fun minigame. Yeah, the top-down shooter. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Which one? This one. So now we're going to be heading to 3 missions where we just have to... Well, the objective, if we want to get the max score, is to come as close as possible to a certain size without knowing how big it is, without it being displayed on there. And if we're too small, well, I'll show how. The king just yells at you if the Katamari's too small, and you try to call him over. So, okay, good, I'm big enough to really get these, so that should be just about enough. There we go. What's our time, by the way?
Right now, I see the timer on screen says 52 minutes.
52. Okay, okay, this should be comfortably underestimate with you. Yeah, so...
When I said you were rolling through these stages, I meant it both in the very literal and figurative sense.
Yeah. That also means we're getting really close to when we have to cut it off. There's probably maybe about, maybe 3 or 4 more minutes to get your donations in.
Ooh. And of course, folks, feel free to also put that donation both towards choosing a song and to one of our other fantastic target incentives, like seeing the worst ending for Wizards and Warriors 3, Kuro's Visions of Power. I've heard that one is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It goes towards both of those. I'm grooving already. It's automatic.
I'm sorry. This is a really short mission, unfortunately.
Oh. You know what? That just means I have to play this game for myself.
Yeah, it's. I definitely recommend checking this game out. But there's probably only 2 more missions, and they're both pretty short to get donations in for the music incentives. So definitely get any last-minute donations in. This is a really short mission that's pretty much just menuing, because you don't have to roll up much at all to be able to exit the level in this. So a good time, it only usually takes about a couple of seconds. Okay, I need to roll a bit more. There we go.
Wow. You weren't.
Yeah, that mission is definitely just like it's definitely tricky if you're trying to get the max score, because you have to get as really close to 50 meters, but for just completing it, it's really a breeze. And so now...
So this means our last one before the incentive closes, the King's Dream.
Yeah, I'd say it, and it's usually about a minute long or so. And this is also a level from... This is also one of the new levels in this game. We get to use a Prince Hop to try to roll up as many dreams as... Like, roll up the various dreams of the king. Like you see, he's dreaming about, you know, just various stuff like mahjong tiles,
Yeah, I see clownfishes, and there was a sea urchin there, wasn't there?
Yeah. So, gonna have to close the incentive.
Alright. Well, let me go ahead and refresh that one more time. And your winner is Shadow and Light.
Awesome. Thanks for the donations toward the incentive, and I'm really happy I'm gonna get to show this music off, because it's definitely not heard that much in the game. And it's also just a really nice song to kind of conclude the run, like do the very last level with, just because.
I mean, it is the credit song.
Yeah. We don't get to hear that in the run, so getting to hear it as the song in the level is, I'd say, the next best thing. But even though the goal is pretty daunting, it'll definitely get here it's definitely gets here pretty quickly, because there's just so much you can do you just get diameter so quickly in drive mode.
really is such a nice backing track for this. Like
Yeah.
knowing it's the last stage of the run.
Yeah, it's just such a nice song. And once again, we're gonna be going to where we can just roll up mountains and such again. And also after, and we'll also be heading to outer space in not that long. And after we get there, we're gonna be also getting to roll in outer space. And after,
You're just rolling up continents now.
Yeah, and after we get there, it'll be really close to time. So you know.
Alright, well, as this run is ending very shortly, I see us zooming out. We do have lots of fantastic runs coming up today with wonderful incentives. Thanks to y'all, we've met the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Randomizer Ice Trap Mayhem goal. But of course, we've got things like a cat cam for the Little Kitty Big City demo coming up later today. And of course, that Sprite Big War for the Ultima Randomizer is still open, along with the character name, with options that are all emoji faces. You've got a little wave. You've got the little one eye is bigger than the other, like zonked out, I guess, and of course the dizzy eyes. So if you want to get in on that, that's coming up right after the interview, which is right after this run also. So
by the way, that's time.
GG.
Thank you.
Mind skate. Mind blown.
That was a lot of fun. What was the time there?
Check it on screen real quick. I love this number so much. 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 minute, and 1 second.
All right. That was a lot. That run was a lot of fun, and it was also just really nice, like running that and having you host for that.
Oh no, thank you for letting me join in. This is such a cute and cozy game. I'm sure it's maybe not so cozy for people being rolled up. Apparently, it feels good being rolled up, but yeah. I cannot confirm or deny.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it does feel really. Yeah, the king does mention when he gets rolled up that it does feel really nice being rolled up. So we can at least feel good with that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I think that'll be it from me. I'm Garby, and thanks everyone for watching and getting their donations in, and also Zuckerman for hosting.
Thank you so much for running this for us, Garby. And real quick, of course, sorry, I'm just still in awe at how fast you went through that. If people want to find you, where can they?
You can find me at Garby the Glitterous on Twitch, and I'm also at Garby Glitterous on co-host.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Chat, coming up, we have an interview with Take This, the charity we are raising funds for. So get in a quick stretch, get in some water, but don't go too far because we've got a fantastic talk coming right up.